Well, hello, everybody. It's Phil Levy with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services California Properties in Santa Clarita, California, with another market clarity update. This one is for the month of July 2021. My son Joey and I bring this to you each month so that our friends and clients can be kept up to date with what's really going on in the real estate market as we spend our time researching and digging underneath the headline news about trends going on in the real estate market. So recently, a client asked me to give them some information about what's going on with visual arts in the Santa Clarita Valley. And, Joey and I are big fans of this community. We think it's a wonderful community to live in. We did a little research and came up with a couple of links that we wanted to share with you so that anybody interested in visual arts and living in this area can avail of themselves of the events and the news that's going on with visual arts in the Santa Clarita Valley. Of course, we also have College of the Canyons and California Institute of the Arts, which is located here as well. So there's a lot more than just this too, but these two links we think are a great place to start. Just a little tidbit for you about what's happening in our local community. So we're going to start with the so-called change in the real estate market. And we're seeing a lot of headlines, how we're getting a lot more new listings on the market and so forth. And while that may be true, there is such pent-up demand for housing, we don't see it having a big impact on interest that buyers have in buying homes and stepping up to the plate to write offers. These couple slides are what's going on nationwide, and you could see that the listing inventory is right at 2.6 months as of July. It's up slightly from June and from May, so we're not seeing much of a change in the listing inventory, which is a dynamic metric which brings both the number of active listings into consideration as well as pending sales into consideration. So 2.6 months, of course, is a pronounced seller's market. Anything under 5 months is considered a seller's market. So at this point, we're not really seeing a pronounced change in the market, at least nationwide. We'll get to our local community momentarily. Another metric that we can use to gauge what's going on is percentage of homes selling over list price. This is nationwide, and you can see that in July 2020, only 27% of homes were selling over list price. In July 2021, it was basically 50%. And almost the same number for last June. And of course, most homes are priced in accordance with the most recent comparable sales. So we think this is a valid metric, at least on a nationwide basis. Shifting gears to the local community, we can see that active listings are down 29% over last year, which was down 35% over the prior year, as we were still deep in the pandemic. Well, we'd argue that we're still deep in the pandemic, at least from a real estate market standpoint, with only 393 active listings with intense buyer interest. Pending sales are almost the same as they were a year ago, and up from the prior year. And just let me pause a second. These charts are split out between attached and detached homes, and which are basically condos and single family. And then the data is aggregated over 3 months to iron out any aberrations in the data. So you can see pending sales are almost the same as they were a year ago. Closed sales, of course, are up considerably, 38% over last year. And last year was down from the preceding year because of the pandemic, down 17%. We're well on track to exceed the closed sales that we had in 2019 at this point in the Santa Clarita Valley. Median sales price has soared up 26.5% over the prior year, and that was up 2.6% over the preceding year, 2019, which means that overall, on a compounded basis, we're about 30% up over the last 2 years. This chart depicts the median days on market. How long does it take for a house to go into escrow? They're flying off the shelves, folks. 6 days at the current time. A year ago, it was twice that at 12 days. 2 years ago, it was 19 days. So what we're seeing is that there's intense buyer interest and simply still a shortage of active listings available. And even with new housing coming online as alternatives for buyers, we're still seeing a drastic shortage of listings. And this is a great indicator of that. And of course, the last slide I have is the month's supply of inventory for the Santa Clarita Valley. We're sitting at a month, as opposed to almost 2 months a year ago and almost 3 months the preceding year. So as we said, we're currently at a very short supply of housing. It means it's a great time for a seller to buy and move on if they have other plans. Buyers are challenged by competing with multiple buyers, so they need to be well positioned to write offers to compete successfully against other buyers. Joey and I have great experience helping both sellers and buyers in this marketplace, and we'd be delighted to help you or anyone you would like to refer to us.